They don't want you to know this, but your car's AC can feel like a freezer again, and you don't need a new compressor to do it. Dealerships won't tell you, and most mechanics will try to hide it, but today, I'm showing you real tricks that actually fix weak ACs, including one move that takes 30 seconds but changes everything. Stick around because your vents are about to go Arctic. Let's crank it up. Number 10, start with the cabin filter because it might be suffocating your AC. Before you start blaming your car's AC system for turning your interior into a sauna, take a second to check something incredibly simple: the cabin air filter. This innocent little rectangle often goes years without attention, collecting everything from road dust and pollen to tiny leaves and even that weird lint that seems to appear out of nowhere. Over time, all this buildup can choke your airflow and make your AC feel weak, even when it's running at full blast. The clogged cabin filter doesn't just reduce airflow, it also forces your blower motor to work harder, which can wear it down faster. That's a double whammy. Mechanics know this and always check it before touching anything major. If your AC feels like it's barely trying, there's a solid chance the filter is the culprit. The good news? Replacing it is stupidly easy and affordable. Most vehicles let you swap it out from behind the glove box in under 10 minutes with no tools. And doing it just once or twice a year can restore airflow, freshen up your car's smell, and instantly make that cold air feel a whole lot colder. Before you start recharging refrigerant or suspect a broken compressor, try this first because you might solve the problem without spending a dime on parts or visit to the shop. If you're enjoying this video so far, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss what's next. Let's keep it cool. Moving on to a trick that's straight out of the Pro Mechanic playbook. Number 9, check the ambient temperature sensor because it controls everything. Your car's AC system doesn't just blow cold air blindly. It actually thinks for itself, using sensors to figure out how hot it is outside before it decides how hard to work. And one of the most crucial sensors in this process is the ambient temperature sensor. It's that little device, usually tucked behind the front bumper, which constantly feeds temperature data to your climate control system. Now, here's the issue. If that sensor goes haywire and tells your AC it's a cool 16 degrees Celsius when it's really roasting at 35 degrees Celsius outside, your system won't bother to kick into high gear. The result? You're left sweating, wondering why your air conditioner feels like it's on a coffee break. You can often catch a faulty sensor by checking your dashboard. The outside temp reading looks way off, that's your clue. Some scan tools can also verify the sensor's data, and mechanics always test this during diagnostics. If needed, replacing it's usually inexpensive and quick. Fixing this can instantly bring back full-blown icy AC without touching the refrigerant. So before you assume something big is broken, double check that the brain of your AC is getting the right information. Number 8, clean the condenser because dirt can kill cooling power. You want the AC blowing ice cubes, right? Then don't overlook the condenser. It sits right at the front of your car just behind the grill, and its whole job is to release heat from the refrigerant so your AC can actually cool the air. Guess what? That location means it's also a magnet for dirt, bugs, leaves, and all the junk the road can throw at it. Over time, this gunk builds up like cholesterol in an artery, blocking airflow and making it harder for the system to dump heat. The result? A slow decline in cooling performance until one day you're stuck in traffic with air that feels like it came from the Sahara. Thankfully, the fix is quick and often free. Grab a garden hose or a low-pressure washer, but don't use high pressure because it can bend the fins. Gently spray the condenser clean from front to back. Mechanics recommend doing this at least once a season, especially before summer hits. This simple cleanup job can dramatically improve performance, especially if your AC was doing okay but never quite getting cold enough. It's one of those no-brainer tricks that delivers instant results and can even prevent more serious issues from building up. Number 7, verify system pressure with gauges. Let's make one thing crystal clear. If you're tossing refrigerant into your AC system without checking pressure first, you're gambling with your car's cooling system. Seriously, that's like seasoning food without tasting it. You might get lucky, or you might end up with a total disaster. Your AC system needs a precise pressure range to function the way it's supposed to. If it's too low, your compressor struggles, cooling gets weak, and the whole vibe feels off. If it's too high, seals start bursting, hoses might crack, and the compressor can take a permanent vacation. Mechanics know this, which is why pressure gauges are the first thing they bring out, not the refrigerant can. Now, you might have one of those DIY recharge kits with a basic low-side gauge, and sure, they're helpful, but they won't give you the full picture. The real game is played with both low and high side readings. That's how the pros diagnose deeper issues like a restricted expansion valve, an overcharged system, or a compressor that's running out of breath. If your AC works sometimes and struggles other times, don't just keep topping it off. That's like topping a leaking bucket with water. It looks like it's working, but the problem never goes away. Get a proper pressure check done. Even better, get a full AC diagnostic from someone who knows what those numbers actually mean. Number 6, use UV dye to hunt down leaks like a pro. Here's the thing about your car's AC. It doesn't magically lose refrigerant. If your system's cold today but sweating you out next week, chances are high that you've got a sneaky little leak somewhere. And instead of guessing where the leak is, it's time to get surgical with UV dye. Here's how it works. A technician, or you, if you're feeling bold, injects a small dose of ultraviolet reactive dye into the AC system. You run the AC for a bit to let the dye circulate through every pipe, fitting, and seal. Then the magic happens when you hit it with a UV flashlight. If there's a leak, even the tiniest crack, the dye will glow like neon paint in a club. You'll spot the problem area instantly. This is the same technique pros use because it's accurate, low cost, and saves tons of time. Most of the usual suspects for leaks include O-rings, condenser coils, or those thin aluminum lines that get brittle with age. And once you spot the leak, no more guessing, no more unnecessary top-ups, and definitely no more sweating in traffic while your vents puff out lukewarm air. Bonus tip: once the leak is sealed, run a vacuum and recharge with the proper refrigerant amount. Your AC will blow colder than ever. You'll actually fix the root cause instead of playing whack-a-mole with symptoms. This trick is pro level, but anyone can do it with the right kit. And once you've tried it, you'll never go back to guessing. If you've been impressed so far, prepare to have your mind blown as we enter the top 5, because these next moves are even cooler than they sound. Number 5, clean the engine bay because heat soak is a silent AC killer. You ever feel like your AC blows decent air when you're cruising, but then turns into a hairdryer after you park for 10 minutes and hop back in? That's heat soak, baby, and trust us, it's one of the most underrated enemies of cold air. Here's the deal. Your engine bay is basically a furnace. After you switch off the engine, all that heat sits there like it's waiting to melt something. And if your AC components, especially the compressor, condenser lines, and pressure sensors, are getting baked under the heat, their performance drops faster than your phone battery on 5%. A lot of folks think the solution's always under the dash or behind the vents, but the real culprit could be under the hood, just chilling while also literally failing to chill. That's why mechanics love to clean engine bays. It's not just for looks, but for function. Dirt, oil, and grime act like thermal blankets. The more buildup around your components, the harder it is for heat to escape. A clean bay lets heat dissipate faster, which in turn allows your AC system to operate with less thermal stress. It's like giving your AC some breathing room. Before you ask, yes, degreasing is safe when done right. Use a proper engine-safe cleaner, cover sensitive electronics or connectors, and hose it down lightly. Boom! Now your engine bay isn't a heat trap. Your AC components stay cooler, perform better, and you just gave your system a quiet advantage most people ignore. Let's be real, this won't turn your Corolla into a walk-in freezer, but it's a solid move in the battle against weak airflow. The cooler your engine bay, the better your AC can fight the summer. Number 4, recharge with the Right Refrigerant, not just any you can find. The classic recharge mission. You hit the auto store, grab that shiny can that says ice cold Arctic formula, and go full DIY. The only problem is most people have no clue what refrigerant their car actually uses, or worse, they just keep adding without checking what's already in the system. Clear this up right now. Most modern cars use R134A or the newer R1234YF refrigerant. They're not interchangeable. Mix the two and your system could clog, corrode, or even turn into an expensive repair job. Also, those little recharge cans with sealers, total trap. Sealers can gum up your compressor, valves, and sensors. Mechanics never touch those unless they're trying to fix a lawnmower, not a car. And here's another crucial bit. Overfilling your system is just as bad as underfilling. When mechanics recharge an AC, they're not guessing. They're using a machine to weigh the refrigerant down to the last gram, exactly as specified on that label under your hood. That precision is the secret sauce. Too much refrigerant raises system pressure, which strains your compressor and can reduce cooling. Too little and well, you get lukewarm disappointment through your vents. So next time you're tempted to play backyard scientist with that mystery can, just stop. Get your system checked, evacuated if needed, and then recharge the right way. It might cost a bit more than that €9.99 can at the gas station, but your AC will blow colder, last longer, and avoid drama down the road. Into the top 3 tricks. Let's talk about a part most drivers ignore. Number 3, replace the AC expansion valve or orifice tube. Alright, here's where we get into the nitty-gritty. Most people never even hear about this part unless their mechanic brings it up, but the expansion valve or orifice tube, depending on your setup, is like the quarterback of your AC system. It controls the flow of refrigerant into the evaporator. When it works right, you get nice frosty air. When it doesn't, you're stuck with a system that kind of cools, sometimes works, sometimes doesn't, and always leaves you confused. What makes it so sneaky is when this part gets partially clogged or stuck, the symptoms don't scream "replace me" right away. You'll just notice weaker cooling, strange pressure readings, or an AC that blows cold only when it feels like it. Mechanics often catch this when everything else checks out, but the system just won't deliver that icy blast. And the fix? Surprisingly affordable. Swapping out the expansion valve or orifice tube is like upgrading your AC's brain. Suddenly, the refrigerant flows smoother, pressures normalize, and that weak little breeze from your vents turns into a polar vortex. It's honestly one of the most overlooked and most effective tweaks you can make, especially on older cars that have had years of gunk and wear clogging up the internals. Don't worry, it's a job that's typically quick for a mechanic and not super pricey. So if your system's been middling for a while but still technically works, ask them to check the valve. It just might transform your AC from mid to magic. Number 2, don't skip the AC compressor clutch check. No cold air, don't panic. Before you go shopping for a whole new AC system, let's talk about the compressor clutch, because this little spinning disc might be the only thing standing between you and an Arctic breeze. The AC clutch is what engages and disengages the compressor. It's like the on-off switch for pressure. When you hit the AC button, you should hear a soft click and see the clutch engage. If it's worn out, slipping, or just dead, your compressor won't do squat, and that means zero refrigerant pressure, zero cooling, and 100% sweaty misery. Now, here's the tricky part. The clutch can start to go bad long before it fully fails. You might notice the AC works sometimes, or only when the car's cold. Mechanics look for this by checking the voltage to the clutch, measuring resistance in the coil, and listening closely for clicks and engagement cycles. They'll also check if the clutch gaps become too wide, which is surprisingly a common wear issue. If the clutch is toast, you got 2 options. Replace just the clutch if your car allows it, or replace the whole compressor. Either way, catching this early is a money saver, because if that clutch starts to fail while the compressor's still running, it could take the whole system down with it. So don't ignore a quiet AC. That silence might mean your clutch is on vacation and your comfort is paying the price. At number 1, let's wrap things up with the most powerful AC trick in the book. Number 1, have the system professionally evacuated and recharged. If your AC's been disappointing you for a while, or if you've tried every trick in the book and it's still acting weird, this is your ultimate reset button. A full professional evacuation and recharge isn't just topping up gas. It's a full detox and reboot for your cooling system. Here's what happens during the process. A machine sucks out every bit of refrigerant from your system, including any air, moisture, and debris that might be hiding in there. Why is that important? Because moisture inside your AC system is a silent killer. It turns into ice, blocks flow, corrodes components, and ruins performance. Moisture is also a reason you'll get that frustrating cold 1 minute more in the next vibe through the vents. After evacuating, the system is vacuumed for a solid 30 to 45 minutes. This pulls out any remaining moisture and prepares the system for a fresh, proper recharge. Then, and this is key, the refrigerant is refilled by weight, exactly per manufacturer's spec. No guessing, no topping up, just perfection. Once this is done, many people report their old, tired AC suddenly blowing brand new cold like it rolled off the assembly line yesterday. It's not magic, it's just giving your system the proper setup it was designed for. And unlike slapping in a can of refrigerant blindly, this method protects your compressor, ensures proper pressure, and delivers maximum chill. If your vents aren't giving you goosebumps by now, it's time to book that pro service. It's the coldest move you can make, literally. Which of these tricks are you going to try out first? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy more exciting videos, click play on the video on your screen. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified when a new video drops.